represent in terms of our understanding of ancient Egyptian culture, economy, religion.
Egypt is one of human history's earliest and most renowned civilizations, recognized for its phenomenal approach to preserving the deceased. However, recent discoveries have shed light on the long-standing mystery surrounding the whereabouts of Cleopatra's body, and scientists are shocked by what they found. What did the scientists find that has transformed our perception of ancient Egypt? What is the truth behind Cleopatra's mysterious death? Join us as we uncover the jaw-dropping discovery made by the scientist while searching for Cleopatra. When we think about Egyptians, our thoughts immediately go to mummies, pyramids, cats, and then Cleopatra. But who was Cleopatra? Born in January 69 BC, the famous Queen Cleopatra was known for her power, beauty, and intellect. She was a lover of Julius Caesar and later became the wife of Mark Antony. She was only 18 when she took after her father and two brothers who later died, making her the sole ruler of Egypt. She defied the popular opinion of women not being able to partake in politics. She was the last pharaoh to reign over the ancient Egyptian empire. Cleopatra is famous because she did everything she could to get what she wanted and protect Egypt in the face of Roman expansion, including seduction and political savvy. The scientists are interested in Cleopatra's tomb because they believe that discovering her tomb would unveil many invaluable artifacts and help them understand more about the Egyptians' practices. Cleopatra's tomb holds historical significance as it was the final resting place of an iconic figure in Egypt, marking the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty. Despite Cleopatra's fame, it is bizarre that no one can provide an account of the circumstances surrounding her death or the location of her tomb. Kathleen Martinez and archaeologists have been tirelessly searching for Cleopatra for 18 years. While excavating Cleopatra's tomb, they discovered other fascinating things, such as the Valley of the Kings and the Temple of Isis. They also unveiled artifacts, including many coins from Cleopatra's reign. At Taposiris Magna, two mummies of high-status individuals who lived during Cleopatra's time were covered with gold leaves, a luxury reserved for society's elite. Scientists now suggest that these individuals likely had interactions with Cleopatra. This discovery is sensational as it highlights the importance of a cemetery connected to Cleopatra through these recent finds. When Cleopatra sought refuge in her mausoleum after being pursued to Alexandria by Octavian, the ruler who succeeded her, she feared being killed. In the 4th century, an earthquake struck Alexandria, submerging a significant portion of the city in the Mediterranean Sea. Scientists believe that Cleopatra's tomb is likely located in this submerged part of the city. Several theories have been proposed regarding Cleopatra's tomb, including the idea that her handmaidens smuggled her body into Taposiris Magna or that she was buried in a rock-cut grave. However, the most recent theory suggests that Alexandria is the most probable site of her burial, and the search for her tomb continues. Just as the scientists were on the verge of giving up, they made an extraordinary discovery hidden deep beneath the Temple of Osiris that could potentially rewrite history books, an untouched miracle. What did the scientists find that is so extraordinary? Kathleen Martinez, a student at the University of Santo, discovered a massive tunnel called the Geometric Miracle during the excavation and evacuation of the Osiris Magna Temple while searching for Cleopatra's tomb. They found it 13 meters deep beneath the temple in the ancient city of Taposiris Magna. The tunnel is 4,200 feet long and 42 feet deep. Kathleen Martinez referred to the tunnel as an engineering miracle. She explained that its architectural design closely resembles the Eubolinus Tunnel project in Greece. The scientists were excited to discover the tunnel because they believed it would finally provide a route to finding Cleopatra's lost tomb. Kathleen Martinez also discovered several ceramic pots and vessels, many beheaded statues, 2 alabaster statues, and the statue of Isis. The scientists found a section of the tunnel underwater, making it more fascinating because it had maintained its structure. They believed that the submersion was a result of the earthquakes that occurred between 320 and 1303 CE. The tunnel dates back to the Ptolemaic period when Egypt was ruled by one of Alexander the Great's descendants. Kathleen Martinez believes that the tunnel is a likely route to Cleopatra's tomb. She stated, "If there's a 1% chance that the last queen of Egypt could be buried there, I have to search for her." The scientists were determined to continue their search, hoping to find Cleopatra's remains intact and discover more connections to her that could help them understand her reign and the secrets she took to the grave. They have finally established a link between the origin and the relationship of the temple of Taposiris Magna to Cleopatra. The temple was built as a tribute to the gods and goddesses of Egypt and served as a gathering place for believers. While the scientists continued searching for Cleopatra's tomb, they made other amazing discoveries that astonished them, starting with the mummy with the golden tongue. The mummy with the golden tongue was found by scientists during their survey of 16 poorly rock-cut crypts in the ruins of the ancient city of Taposiris Magna, located west of Alexandria. This finding sheds new light on the burial practices of the Egyptians, as it was believed that the tongue symbolized power and would aid the deceased in communicating with the gods in the afterlife. The tongue-shaped amulet was made of gold foil. The archaeologists believed that the mummy was particular because it was the first among the many excavated to have a golden tongue. The reason for the tongue being made of gold remains unknown, but they believe it was for a significant purpose. They also discovered a burial site beneath the mummy that dates back as far as 2,000 years ago, and a temple dedicated to Osiris, the ancient Egyptian god of the afterlife. Based on these findings, they concluded that the mummy likely belonged to someone of high rank and had a connection to Osiris. The next is the Land of Wonder. This discovery is no shocker because Egypt is full of many wonders, and it's known worldwide for its unique crafts and statues. A mummy encased in a coffin was discovered and displayed in a living room. Eventually, the mummy was donated to the Zagran Archaeological Museum, where it was found that the lettering on the body of the mummy was not hieroglyphics, but Etruscan. To this day, the lettering remains uninterpreted due to the unknown nature of the Etruscan language. Another intriguing discovery was a beheaded statue. Not all figures were found intact, including this one. The beheaded statue, dressed in the traditional Egyptian collar and kilt, is believed by Dr. Zahi Hawass, the former Minister of State for Antiquities Affairs of Egypt, to belong to Pharaoh Ptolemy IV Philip Potter, the fourth pharaoh of Ptolemaic Egypt, from 221 to 204 BC. Scientists speculate that the statue may hold a deeper and more significant meaning. The tomb of the pregnant ancient mummy sent shivers down the spines of scientists. She was discovered in Thebes, a city along the Nile River. The mummy was first considered a man because she was placed in a male coffin. Later on, scientists conducted their research and discovered that she had no penis, but instead had long hair and breasts. She was wrapped in fabrics and entombed with several amulets representing Horus's 4 sons, the ancient Egyptian god of kingship and the sky. The mummy was identified as a woman who was 28 weeks pregnant at the time of her death. An X-ray of the mummy, published in the Journal of Archaeological Science, revealed the tiny hands and feet of the fetus, raising questions about the woman's identity and why she was mummified with her unborn baby. Initially, she was mistaken for a male due to the size of the coffin. Researchers stated that this was the first documented case of a well-preserved mummified pregnant woman and the first instance of a female mummy buried in a male coffin. There is ongoing debate among scientists regarding whether the mummy was intentionally placed in a male coffin or if it was a result of the activities of tomb raiders who switched the mummy's body from its original coffin, a practice that was not uncommon. She became known as the Mysterious Lady of the National Museum in Warsaw. The mummy was donated to the University of Warsaw in 1826 and has been safely housed in the National Museum of Warsaw, Poland, since 1917. Now let us discuss the tomb of a 4,200-year-old queen. In ancient Egypt, royal Egyptians were often buried in pyramids with the women they married. King Teti, a pharaoh who ruled Egypt more than 4,200 years ago, was buried in a pyramid. Recently, researchers discovered a pyramid belonging to one of Teti's wives at Saqqara, but the wife's name has yet to be found. This is the mystery behind her tomb finding. Why was her name not written on the walls of her tomb? Why is she an unknown member of the Egyptian royalty? Recently, a funerary temple near Teti and his wife's burial pyramid was discovered with a name on the wall: Queen Nerit. The Queen Nerit, also called the Net, is probably not buried in the funerary temple because it was a place of worship. Archaeologists discovered 3 brick warehouses near Queen Nerit's temple, which contained offerings to Teti and his queen. In addition, they found over 50 wooden coffins or sarcophagi that were at least 3,000 years old. The coffins, many of which were decorated with illustrations of Egyptian gods and excerpts from the Book of the Dead, an ancient manuscript that guides souls through the afterlife, will be discussed later in the video. In the burial shafts near Nerit's tomb, they found a variety of artifacts in the coffins, including funerary masks, a bronze axe from the leader of the pharaoh's army, bird-shaped structures, a limestone plateau, and a shrine dedicated to Anubis, the Egyptian god of the dead, who is depicted as a jackal-headed deity. They also discovered a board game called Senet, which the Egyptians believed to be similar to chess and thought winning would lead them to the afterlife. Another significant discovery was the Book of the Dead, a 52-foot-long papyrus containing sections of the ancient Egyptians' Book of the Dead, which was found in a coffin at a Saqqara tomb by Egyptian archaeologists from the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities. The Book of the Dead is not a single book, but a series of collections of various funerary texts and spells used to assist the dead in navigating the underworld. It is approximately 2,000 years old and contains hymns and prayers to help individuals overcome the challenges of the underworld. The scroll, known as the Waziri Papyrus, is currently being translated into Arabic. Now let's discuss another discovery, the Lighthouse of Alexandria, also known as the Pharos of Alexandria. It was built during the reign of Ptolemy II Philadelphus in ancient Egypt and served as a guide and protector for sailors. The lighthouse was estimated to be around 100 meters tall. It was constructed in 3 stages, each slightly sloping inward. The base was square, the middle section was octagonal, and the top was cylindrical. At the pinnacle was a broad spiral platform where a fire burned at night. Unfortunately, an earthquake in the 1300s destroyed the lighthouse. The Valley of Kings, also known as the Valley of the Tombs of the Kings, was an integral part of ancient Egypt, serving as the burial ground for nearly all kings. Situated on the west bank of the Nile River, this historic burial site holds immense archaeological significance. During the New Kingdom era, which spanned from approximately 1539 to 1075 BCE, the kings became increasingly concerned about the security of their valuable tombs. In response, they devised a unique strategy by concealing their burial sites within a secluded valley in the western hills near Deir al-Bahri. Within this valley, deep within the mountainside, numerous pharaohs, queens, high-ranking officials, and sons of Ramses II found their eternal resting places. Although the designs of the tombs varied, they all shared a common architectural concept. These tombs featured a descending passageway, often fortified with deep shafts to deter potential tomb raiders. Pillared chambers or vestibules were also present along the passage. At the end of this corridor, the burial chamber lay, housing a stone coffin where the royal mummy was laid to rest. Surrounding the burial chamber were storage areas stocked with furniture and equipment for the king's use in the afterlife. Another renowned archaeological site, the Valley of the Golden Mummies, was Egypt's largest burial site during the Greco-Roman era. Approximately 250 mummies were discovered on this site, predominantly belonging to the aristocracy residing in Bahariya Oasis within Egypt's western desert during that historical period. In 1996, Dr. Zahi Hawass and his Egyptian team made a remarkable discovery when they unearthed the Valley of the Golden Mummies. Located roughly 420 miles southwest of Cairo, amidst one of the world's most formidable deserts, this valley contains a variety of tombs constructed during the Greco-Roman period. The Library of Alexandria. Several suspects are responsible for the loss of this library, and people have mourned its destruction for ages. The story behind its demise remains a mystery today. The library was founded in Egypt by Alexander the Great, but his successor built it. Ptolemy the Soter, the successor to the pharaoh, established the museum, also known as the Museum of Alexandria, or the Greek Mouseion, seat of the Muses, and the Royal Library of Alexandria in 283 BC. Inspired by Aristotle's Lyceum in Athens, the museum served as a place of learning with lecture halls, gardens, a zoo, shrines for the 9 muses, and, of course, the library itself. Historians estimate that it housed over 500,000 documents from various civilizations. Julius Caesar is often credited with partially destroying the library in 48 BC. It is believed that during his occupation of Alexandria, Caesar inadvertently set fire to Egyptian ships, resulting in a fire that spread to parts of the city, including the library. Although Caesar mentions this event, specific details still need to be included. Another version implicates Theophilus, the Patriarch of Alexandria, 385–412 AD, and his nephew Cyril. The Temple of Serapis, a part of the library, was converted into a Christian church around 391 AD. Religious tensions fueled riots in the city, leading to violence and potentially causing further destruction of documents. During these events, Hypatia, a female philosopher, met a tragic end. Some attribute the demise of the library to Caliph Omar when Muslims captured Alexandria in 640 AD. Supposedly, he ordered the destruction of its texts because they were seen as contradicting or duplicating the Quran. However, these claims lack contemporary evidence and may have been exaggerated over time, particularly by Christian sources. The hidden chambers of the Pyramid of Giza. Around 2560 BCE, this incredible pyramid was built under the reign of King Khufu. His life and death have always been a mystery, and now rumors have it that Khufu was the motivation behind the creation of the Great Pyramid. The reason for the several chambers found in the pyramid has yet to be discovered. The pyramid is about 98 feet long and was the tallest human structure until the Eiffel Tower in Paris was created in 1889. For a pyramid that long, the purpose behind its design is still a mystery. The pyramid was made with 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing an average of more than 2 pounds. The chamber in the pyramid is significant, and there has been no evidence of human activity found in the rooms. Therefore, it was assumed by the researchers that the chamber had been untouched for approximately 4,500 years. The function of the section still needs to be fixed to crack because it's impossible to get into the chamber from outside of the pyramid. The scientists found 2 large stones at the end of the room, and now the big question is, what's behind the rocks? The scientists believe that the discovery of this chamber could lead to an actual chamber of secrets that would uncover the reason behind the creation of the structure and what lies beneath it. The secret chamber isn't the first thing to be discovered in the structure. Scientists released a study that showed 2 mysterious voids within the pyramid. One theory said the void may be an actual tomb of a pharaoh. Another said it may be a storage place. We can only conclude once the scientists finish their research on the voids. The discovery of the geometric tunnel opened a new realm of possibilities in the world of archaeology, and it's a step toward finding Cleopatra. Until then, stay tuned and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.